Hey guys, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. This is Andrew Burr from the Andrew Burr Group at the Kai's Company. We can't wait to get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Today, my guest is Daniel Herbert. Daniel, well, we'll get into a little bit of what he does. He's a private investigator for insurance companies or something like that, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
That's three Griffins?
Three Griffins.
Three Griffins. All right, so you'll check that out on the Real Talk episode a little bit later. But as we always do, we're going to start with the first question to Daniel, which is, how did you get here to South Florida? What brought you to South Florida? What was your journey like?
Wow, 1,000 words or less.
Yeah, you get three.
Raised in a small town in Michigan, youngest of 10 kids. Left college, went to Chicago, had 13, 14 beautiful years there, and was looking at another Chicago winter and said, maybe it's time to put a for sale sign in front of that house.
Yes.
And didn't look back. I've been here 21, 22 years.
All of that in Wellington, or was there another stop for it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty typical thing. We get a lot of people that the winter crush is the leading motivating factor.
Those Februaries in Chicago are ridiculous.
So, well, listen, some people absolutely love it. I don't get it. I mean, and, I was born in north of where most Canadians live, Bangor, Maine. Old Town Maine's right outside of Bangor, pretty northern Maine. So I get it. I understand it. So let me ask you this. The first year that you lived in South Florida, in Wellington, Palm Beach County, what was it like? What did you do? Was it like being on vacation every day? Were you at the beaches, like twice a week, stuff like that? What was the vibe like?
Yeah, it took some getting used to. August and September are hot, but I've learned and grown to appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say that it was like vacation every day, but there's certainly plenty to do that you can't do when you have 8 or 9 months of marginal weather.
Right.
So, yeah, that first year was interesting. There was some acclimating to do. I originally being from the Midwest, Palm Beach County, they call it the sixth borough of New York.
Right.
And certainly have met some really good people from the Northeast. But they're different than Midwesterners. I
agree with that. Yeah, it's upbringing is, that's that formulates people. They say that what was it, the whole horse could speak if it lived grew up in a different environment or something like that. So no, that's definitely true. When I got down here the first time, I don't know that it was very hard to kind of tell where people were from, honestly. But when I first got down there, we were down on the beach. It was I don't know, 30, how many years ago, 30, whatever, 37. And everybody just kind of automatically turned into this Florida beach bum.
Yeah.
Like they got here from wherever they were, and within 3 days you were just like, oh yeah, bro, what's going on? It was just kind of silly. So, but that was, living on the beach when you're younger. So you were slightly older than me when you made the move. So a little different vibe and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think the accents are a dead giveaway. If somebody says Florida,
yeah,
they're probably from the Northeast. If they drop their R's, they're probably from the Northeast.
Right.
If they say good morning to you when they walk past you in a restaurant, they're probably from the Midwest.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. And what if they wave? There's a lot of wavers out there. Where do the wavers come from?
Reckless driving on 995, but that's...
not the middle finger wave, the other way.
That's not this way, that's the other way.
I think it's a Midwestern thing. I feel like it's a Midwestern and maybe a Southern thing, like not Southern Florida, but like, Southeastern type thing, a lot of waving at you all the time. So.
Yeah, where I grew up, when somebody, if you're out walking out to get your mail or cutting your yard and somebody drives past you, hey, how are
that's what
you?
I'm saying. It's, but I don't feel like that's a New York thing much. I don't think New Yorkers waved at each other much. I don't think. No. Although there's an awful lot of people, you probably get a little cramp after you wave at all those people, especially city folks. You just walk around like this. People think you got Parkinson's or something, but... Sorry, so let me ask you this. Get back to South Florida. So outside of the where everybody comes from, which is honestly we get people from everywhere down here. I mean, all over the world, all over the country. It used to be primarily New Yorkers, or New Englanders. That used to be what it was. Now we got a huge bunch of people from Michigan, from California, from and it was funny because it used to be if you were from Michigan, you were West Coast. Florida.
Yeah.
That was it.
You followed 75.
That's right. You didn't come over to this side. Now it's, it's a crazy bit of melting pot. Plus, we have a lot of people from all over the world, which makes it a very interesting place to drive. But we can talk about that later. So let me ask you this. What is the number one best thing about living in South Florida?
Oh, wow.
What makes it not suck the most?
Man, that's a long list.
Well, we're going to start with one. Pick your favorite one.
I got to go right at the weather. When you got nothing else to talk about, you talk about the weather, right?
That's it, man.
So, but
that's where a lot of it starts, obviously.
365 days of sunshine.
I don't think we've ever got 365 days of sunshine, but we get a lot.
You get that rainstorm
liquid sunshine
at 2:13 p.m.
Right.
During the summer months, but
yeah.
You can be outside 365
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
days a year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Without having to shovel through snow or, some other sort of thing.
Yes,
and you can be outside basically in your shorts 365 days a year. Or, wherever you prefer.
We get that week or 10 days in February where it gets down into the low 50s.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had to mention this on this show before, but last year, I believe it was last year, my wife made me go out and buy a fire pit for our house in Key Largo. Because you're laughing. No, like a fire pit. Like I bought one of those metal, what do they call them, chimeras or something. I don't know whatever the hell it is, but it was a fire pit and all that, and I had to go buy firewood.
Chimney.
Whatever the hell it is, I don't know. It's a metal fire pit, so you just don't put the stuff on the ground and light it on fire, right? So, anyways, I spent $300-something on this metal fire, which we still have sitting out back in Key Largo, by the way. And then I go to Publix and get the wood, because down here in South Florida, that's where you get your firewood. It's like a nice little satchel and stuff like that, because we're not like stacking it outside the door like you do in Maine. Like, where does that wood pile? Doesn't matter. Putting more wood in the wood pile. Like up there, you can never have enough wood. So I go out there. It gets down to 40. I don't know. Let's say 7. The one night, and so I got there, and it takes me an hour to get all this crap together. But I got to put the thing together. Get the wood, get the thing, do all this, put the chairs around there. So she's so happy. She puts on her little boots and her sweater. She comes out there and sits next to the thing for like 5 minutes. She goes, it's too smoky, goes back in. So I'm like, okay, great. But it does get chilly here sometimes.
But you did the right thing. Happy wife, happy life.
She does shit, I think, just sometimes to make sure I'll still do it. I mean, we've been married for 30 however years, and sometimes I think she just has that little test button. Doop. Let me see how stupid I can come up with something. Doop. Go do this. Okay. But then that's me. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, look, this podcast is about it's real living, real people, and real whatever. I mean, there's stuff that does suck about South Florida, and there are two or three days that do suck because they're chilly, and we don't own cold weather clothes.
The other really nice thing that I discovered shortly after moving to South Florida is if you're mediocre anywhere else in the country, you're a superstar in Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of people here that lack ambition, lack work ethic, but there's certainly opportunities for people who know how to think. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty good at what I did up north, so being in Florida is just
made it even easier.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we do get, I guess, people that, for lack of a better word, or maybe slackers. I mean, but if you're gonna slack.
Well, I think it's that whole I moved down to Florida and I'm always going to be on vacation mentality.
That does happen. There are people that does happen to, and then the Keys, we call it the Keys disease. You get all I'm going to do is fish all day and do whatever, and then you look around and go, damn, the bill's still coming in. What am I going to do now? I'm going to get a job as a bartender, whatever. I mean, although there's some bartenders down there that make some pretty damn good money, I'll tell you that right now.
The Keys are a different vibe from...
The Keys are a different vibe.
I'm going to say different from anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you are very connected to one of my favorite cities. As a matter of fact, I just got back from Key West yesterday.
I love Key West.
And you drive one of the most beautiful drives for work. Now, this is a job, and this is something that he does. And 300... what's a round trip on that? 400 and... whatever.
Round trip?
Yeah.
It's probably mid 400 miles.
400 and change, yeah. And you do that almost, seems like once a week.
No, I do it once a month, maybe.
Once a month? Okay. Yeah. You get customers down there, but that's a beautiful drive if you get
It's nice to have somebody pay me to drive to Key West, stay overnight.
Yeah, no kidding.
You can't get good hogfish up in Palm Beach County, but boy, you can get it in the Keys.
Yeah, you can definitely, the fish, there's something about the fish down in the Keys and certain fish, hogfish, I mean, yellowtail. Yellowtail snapper, people, you almost never catch it out here in Palm Beach. I mean, you catch it occasionally, but down there, man, it's just like, it is so wonderful to be able to go out on your boat, hop out, drop a line, nice big flag snapper.
Same with I love hogfish.
And hogfish. So, have you ever fished for hogfish?
I'm not much of a fisher. I'm a sit on a boat and get a line wet guy, but I'm not much of a fisherman.
And that's fine. That's like a lot of Florida fishermen are. But so hogfish, they go down and shoot them a lot because when I say shoot them, it's a spear gun they go into water to do. They have such a weak jaw. If you've ever seen one, it's actually not. They call it a hog snapper, but it's not a snapper. It's a wrasse. There's a whole bunch of different stuff there. But they have such a weak jaw that you pull their lips off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because what happens if they get hooked anywhere in their lip is if it doesn't get inside of their mouth, like down deep, it'll just pull their lips off. It's the craziest thing in the world.
And I know there's a limit on them too.
Yeah, I don't know what the limits are on that. We don't really go after them too much. We go after snapper, muttons, and stuff like that. But yeah, they're exceedingly difficult to catch like that, and it's kind of weird because they have such pronounced lips that when you see one underwater that's had its lips pulled off, it's kind of funny. They don't die; they grow their lips back. But it's just a little note for anybody that cares.
Well, they taste good.
They do taste good. Where do you typically go get your hogfish when you're down there?
When I'm down there,
yeah, what's your favorite place to go?
Any place on Duval Street, or actually better off to get a block or two off Duval and get away from all the madness.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that, man.
Irish Kevin's is a mandatory stop.
Irish Kevin's is great. I love Irish Kevin's.
But there's, now that I sit here, I can't think of a single place by name that I go, but I know where they are when I'm there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's a ton of places down there. Irish Kevin's, by the way, if you're going there for hog snapper, you're going to the wrong place. You're not going to get it there.
You're not going to.
You'll get a lot of other things there, but you're not going to get hogfish.
Probably going to get
a little
mahi.
Well, I get a little drunk.
Yeah, some good music.
Yeah. It's interesting, especially when Kevin plays. But I digress. So anyway, let me ask you this. So my ideal commute, I guess, would be skip the whole part till you get to Overseas Highway. Probably actually get out of Key Largo and then start right there around Almirada and then drive down.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Some of those beautiful water in the world, right?
Yep.
I mean, we were coming back and I'm looking. I'm like, and my wife and I often do this when we're down there. We're looking and we're like, is it always this beautiful? I mean, is the water always this gorgeous? I mean, it's just incredible because it's the beginning of the Caribbean. I mean, it's, just beautiful drive.
Yeah, it's pleasing. That drive can be challenging too, depending on when you hit it. Mm-hmm. I've had my GPS go from 2 hours and 41 minutes to 13 hours and 9 minutes. Mm-hmm. But it goes right back down. You can get stuck on that little 2-lane road. But
one road in, one road out.
You've got just the most beautiful nature around you to look at while you're sitting there anyway.
Yeah, and there's always, it's if you have to pull off and waste an hour, there's always a good place.
There's always a couple of stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of those, if you don't have it yet, the Monroe County Sheriff's app, beautiful thing. Anytime that they have an app, a traffic app. Anytime that something happens, it pops up. Oh, traffic diverted at mile marker, whatever traffic,
Oh.
Well, yeah. Matter of fact, when we were coming back up, we weren't barely out of Key West, and 48, both lanes closed due to an accident. Now we'll hit boondocks. Dropped into boondocks. Went to the little fruit and whatever fair. Had my mother with us, so did all that little stuff. Wasted like a half an hour, 45 minutes. One lane open northbound. All right, let's hop back on.
Let's get back on the road.
That's it. And by the time we got up there, it was right at the very beginning of Marathon off the bridge. No problem.
That can be a good drive to stop and stretch your legs anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, depending, like, it's not so bad if it's kind of a clean traffic flow. I mean, it's really not that bad. It's an hour and 45 minutes to either Key Largo, and then we'll stop at the house. I mean, whatever. It's not. And that's
down on a Friday afternoon and you're toast.
Forget it, man. Oh, dude. And Sunday afternoon trying to get out.
And that's the worst drive. Like leaving
because
Key West.
Then you're like, damn it, I'm going back to something I don't want.
I get a case of the boo-hoos when I leave Key West, yeah.
So do you ever stop in any of the other keys, or you just
I'll stop in Key Largo usually for fuel and a sandwich, or there's all sorts of nice little off the road restaurants around there. Trying to think, there's a Last Chance Saloon is a favorite stop.
Yeah, right before you get on the overseas highway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not bad. Good old Homestead, or Florida City, actually. You're past Homestead by then.
They've got some, and it's a hole in the wall bar if you've ever been there with the dollar bills stuck all over the wall. But they've got some good food in there.
Right? Yeah. I never stopped in
And
there.
Mrs. Mack's Kitchen for key lime pie.
Oh, Mrs. Max is very nice. There's actually two of them. You know, there's two of them, right? One on the
but you're
inside,
not
one
going
on
to
the
find
outside.
a better slice of key lime pie anywhere, I don't think.
Hey, there you go, guys. There's a challenge for you all, you Keynesians. Mrs. Max. Okay.
This is not a paid endorsement.
No, that's all right. We do
Just
unpaid
life
endorsements.
experience.
No, hey, listen, that's what it's all about. And, you know, we're talking about a lot about the Keys right now, which is great because the Keys is an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours from here anyways, right? It's not that far. People think of the Keys are, oh my God, it's way, you know, because they're always thinking of Key West. And Key West can be.
No, the Upper Keys is quick drive.
Yeah, quick drive. And a lot of great stuff up there in the Upper Keys. But let's get back to Palm Beach County, shall we?
Yes, sir.
So here in Palm Beach County, and this is a loaded question because I know the answer. What's your favorite place to go eat here in Palm Beach County?
Oh, it's got to be Ollie's.
Ollie's.
Ollie's or Avocado Grill downtown.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but as far as being out west, living out west, you know, the panko snapper and the fillet at Ollie's, it just can't be beat.
That's nice. It's a nice little place. Nice little place to have a perhaps a one adult beverage, perhaps two, and a nice meal.
There are some adult beverages that get consumed at Ollie's with a meal. Yeah, they make a great martini. Beer is always cold. You know, there's nothing to argue with there. Good food and cold beer.
Yeah, there you go.
Florida doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't. That's it. That's what it's all about. And well, the funny thing is that, you know, often the theme here is if we have somebody that's from out east, they tend to more or less stay out east. If we have somebody from out west, they tend to stay out west. And the fact that you mentioned Avocado Grill, I mean, you know, there is, and when we're saying out east and out west, we're literally talking about 5 to 7 miles difference.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the breadth of it all.
I don't like doing that Southern Boulevard after a couple of pops. It's
Well,
just
no, I got you. Yeah, if you're drinking and stuff, but if you happen to be, well, there should be like a shuttle. You think there should be a Wellington to West Palm shuttle? You think it would make any money?
Wonder if Trump let us use his chopper.
That might get pricey.
Yeah.
A little fuely, but I think like a little short bus.
That'd be good for us.
Yeah, little short bus, and you would think there would be enough profitability in that, you know, to get, you know, just evening, you know, a couple trips back and forth, but maybe not.
I'm guessing that there's got to be public transportation that goes downtown and out west.
Yeah, I don't see many people hopping on the, what's it called? The ride on. What's the bus called? You know what it is, child? I don't even know what it's called, but the public bus transportation. I don't see many people hopping on that and then going down to the Bend. I don't see a lot of people hopping on Palm Tran to go down to the Bend and go to, you know, the Grit.
No, and probably westbound. It's probably not a good ride at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and you get all those stops. You want to get back home. Anyways, I digress. So here in beautiful Palm Beach County, you have, let's see here. We've covered dining. Oh, what recreational other than drinking and eating?
Oh, man. Palm Beach County's just, we've got live music. We've got outdoor live music. Wellington itself has got a beautiful amphitheater. They've just added that area onto the lakefront.
Yeah, the Esplanade.
The Esplanade, yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
They've got the food trucks, you know, golf, tennis, pickleball.
I'm talking about what you do, though. Like, what do you actually... Actually, I saw a picture of you hang gliding on Facebook or something. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't do that
Yeah,
here, did you?
straight out west, State Road 80.
Really?
I think in Pahokee or Clewiston.
Really? That's
Yeah.
where that was? That's crazy. I didn't
Maybe
know
a
they
little
did that out
farther.
there. Well, I don't know, whatever. Somewhere near the lake. Somewhere near the lake.
But west of the lake.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they take you up. You get up to, and you get to pick how high you want to go based on how much you want to pay.
Really?
And they put a little bicycle helmet on you, you know, because that's going to help if you fall from 4,000
Yeah,
feet.
no kidding.
But yeah, you're just up there with the wind, basically.
Why would it matter? Why would they charge you more to go higher? The wind is free. You're on a kite.
They're towing you up.
Oh, they tie you up on an airplane.
They use a little ultralight, and then they got a tow rope, and then you're in a.
Got it.
What do they call those things?
I said it when hang glider, yeah.
Hang glider.
Just two little wheels on a stick and a kite.
Some nylon and a tubular frame, and
how long do you stay up there when you do that?
I was up there for probably half an hour.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Just enough to make you feel like you never need to do that again.
Yeah, really. So it was cool, and then it was like, okay, I could.
Oh no, it was always cool.
Was it?
Yeah, it's. But when you get down on the ground, you're grateful because there's nothing holding you up there. You know, when you're looking down and you're seeing birds 1,000 feet below you, you know you're up pretty high. Yeah.
A little awkward. That's cool. That's like skydiving too. Have you ever jumped out of an airplane?
I have.
And what was if you had to equate jumping out of an airplane and flying on a kite, which is what's the main differences? Because it seems like once the parachute opens, it's probably similar.
Yeah, I think there's more similarities.
I mean, the excitement about is the parachute going to open, I'm sure is different.
One way or another, you're going to land.
Right. Sure.
Skydiving's exhilarating. It's over quick. You know, you free fall for 8 or 10 seconds, and then, you know, you're looking up into
8 or 10 seconds. That's it.
Yeah.
Seems like they should take you up higher for that. That seems like a waste of time.
No, it was not a waste of time. It was a good time. You know, that's one of those fear things that I just needed to walk through for myself, that fear of heights. And
right.
But skydiving, did it once, never need to do it again.
Yeah.
Hang gliding, I'd go back and do that again.
Okay. So the final, the trifecta for Florida for that would be parasailing. Have you ever parasailed?
Behind a boat? Mm-hmm. I have, down in the Key West.
So you go, man. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, you've got everything. You've got sun, you've got sky, you've got water.
Really? See, to me, it seems like it would get boring after a minute. You get up there and you look around, you go, okay. All right, what do we do now?
We had a good boat captain. He kept bringing us up, and your toes would just touch the water, and he'd bring you back up again. Nice. That was nice.
Nice. Will they let you bring a cocktail up there?
It's Key West, man. I'm sure.
Probably.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
They're probably throwing them to you off the back of the boat if you ask.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we always talk about them. We never do that particular thing. I don't know. To me, like I said, I think it would be, okay, great. We get up there and it's fun because you're up here, and then they leave you up there for, seems like a long time. Whenever we're driving underneath them on the boat, they're just always up there.
I don't remember how long we were up there. There were cocktails involved that day.
It's all good. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, no, listen, and here's the thing, that you can do that out here right off Palm Beach. I mean, there's,
oh, sure.
You can do that stuff everywhere here in South Florida. And that's, South Florida is very much the hop on a jet ski, rent a jet ski, rent a whatever, but be on the water type of thing is very big. But you're not a fisherman, dip a line, don't hate it, but not your passion.
No.
Is there anything on the water that you are passionate about, or under the water? Are you a diver?
Love to snorkel.
Snorkeler? Yeah.
Snorkeling's fun.
Cool.
Go out, right off where the breakers is.
Yeah.
There's some.
They got nice little reef out there.
Beautiful reefs. Mm-hmm. And they've built some man-made reefs out there.
Yep, absolutely.
Which is really bringing back the aquatic life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a while there where it was getting a little rough, but yeah, they've definitely helped the fisheries out there. And now, you used to be able to catch most of those aquarium fish, and now they've basically cut all that off, which is definitely helped.
Those fish are pretty tame too. They'll come right up to you. Yeah. We've seen turtles this big around out there, and back to the Keys. If you go to don't remember, is it where Pennicamp State Park is?
That's Key Largo. Yeah.
That's Key Largo, mm-hmm. And you've got the underwater Jesus. It's about 30 feet down.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not touch that statue. It's covered with fire coral, and if you touch it, you will realize why they call it fire coral.
Yeah.
I do not know that from personal experience, but funny story. I took my daughter there. She was maybe about 9 or 10, and she's ready to go snorkeling, and we go out on the guided tour, and we got our gear on. She jumps in the water and just got peppered by jellyfish.
Oh yeah, that is something we do get down there sometimes. When they come in, they're thick.
And that poor kid, her hopes were so high that she was going to go down 30 feet and see this underwater statue with her dad. And So I pull her out of the boat, and of course the captain says, I got to pee on you, right?
Listen, it helps a little bit. But.
Well, no, I bought right into it. I said, no, if anybody's going to pee on her, it's going to be your dad.
That's always fun.
Luckily, they had some jellyfish spray, and we didn't have to pee on her.
Yeah, that is something that, like, if you're going to go, even here in Palm Beach County, but definitely Key Largo for sure, ask people, say, how are the jellyfish? Because when they're in, man, they are trash.
Depends on how long you cook them.
How long they cook you.
Oof.
And it's funny. Sometimes you'll see people, and they're just in a restaurant or something, and they've got this, like, it looks like it, and that'll stay there for weeks sometimes, and even because they'll hit your mask, but in the mask kind of or if you have like the goggles, it's even worse. But you get that side or on.
I don't think there's
leg.
any amount of Benadryl that takes that away.
No,
it's just time.
No, yeah, and yeah. Anyways, so check your local forecast for jellyfish before you get in the water.
Yeah, they put signs out for sharks. They should put them out for jellyfish.
They actually do have down there. They have jelly signs. They have like different flags, but you got to read what the thing means.
Oh,
you just go, look, there's a flag. It's great. Whatever. Yeah, jump in. Or if you see a bunch of people going like this, just don't go in the water. All right. So
the other beautiful thing about Palm Beach County and South Florida in particular is we've got so many golf courses.
Yeah.
If you're a golfer, this is paradise, and I think one of the best golf courses in Palm Beach County is public. It's Okehele.
Yeah, Okehele's a great course. I mean, it's I have to say we have some private courses that are pretty damn sweet.
Well,
but if you're comparing a country club course up north to Okehele, Okehele's damn near on par with most of the club courses up there, and better than some of them.
Yeah, and you got three 9-hole courses.
3 9-hole courses, and if you play Twilight, it's $18 until it gets dark.
$18 with a cart.
$18 with a cart right now. Yeah,
wow.
It used to be like 12, man. It used to be really cheap, but yeah, and so that's after 3. But then again, when you play Twilight, it's summertime and it doesn't get dark until 8 or whatever. So but yeah,
they've got a couple brutal par 5s on those courses too.
Oh yeah, there's some really tough holes on that course. I mean, it just and there's a lot of holes on that course where you can't really see the whole hole, and you think you drove a beautiful drive or played a beautiful shot, and then you can't even find your ball. Yeah, I'm convinced there's some just angry raccoons out there that do that to piss people off. But but yeah, I played that a lot. It's literally right across the street from my house.
Yeah, beautiful mature trees.
Oh yeah,
the greens are usually in good shape depending on the weather.
Yeah, depending on the weather, depending on the season. But yeah, and the nature out there is it's incredible. I mean, it's
One of the nice things about Okehele is you don't see a house when you're out there, really.
No, there's
not like playing on Wanderers or some of the other where it's the houses are right up and you're putting your ball through somebody's screen enclosure. Yeah,
no, there's no houses on the course out there. There's one little section where you could, if you peered through
on the other side of that canal,
you might be able to. Yeah. But other than that, it's definitely, and it's and it's nice because like I said, there's three 9s, so you can get a little variation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, generally it plays pretty decently too, pretty smoothly. You're not sitting there forever stacked up and whatever. It's not like going down to Lake Worth and playing the course down there where you get behind 4 older guys that
they're hitting the ball.
They're sure they're times. Well, no, those guys are great. The Duffers are great, man, because they just boop 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 boop, and they're like parring. I mean, it looks like they're doing nothing, but they're parring almost every hole because they're just very precise on their 3-2, 1 on. Tap it in, whatever.
Put me down for a 5.
That's it. Put me down for a 5. But yeah, we have a ton of golf courses. So it's in the just in public courses. I mean, I think there's 26 in the county.
Wow,
that's insane. Well, we're a big county though too. Like, I gotta rectify something. Last time I said, I think the size of Palm Beach County that you could put a couple of Palm Beach counties in Rhode Island. I was wrong. You can put 2 Rhode Islands in Palm Beach County. That's how big Palm Beach County is.
Isn't Palm Beach County geographically one of the largest counties in the country?
Yeah, no, there's some really big counties out in the flyover states and stuff, but it's the largest county east of the Mississippi. No, because if you go out to like Wyoming and stuff, there's counties that are the size of.
Oh yeah, but they got 4 people in them.
Well, I'm not talking about Well, and maybe as far as statistically, as far as how many people live in Palm Beach County, we're massive compared to some states. Palm Beach County probably has a larger population than Wyoming or, Utah. We have a lot of people that live here.
Yes, we do. And what, 1,000 more people every day.
Well, that's to Florida. The last one I saw was actually, I don't know, like 1,100 or something to Florida every day in South Florida. So for a while there, we were getting that to South Florida. In South Florida being defined as anything basically below the lake, I guess.
Now, when I moved here, Wellington Mall had just opened.
Mm-hmm.
State Road 7 was 441 was 2 lanes.
Right. Did the highway go through?
No.
95, so it still didn't go through when you moved there?
Oh, yes, it did. Yes,
Okay,
it did.
yeah.
But there was nothing but cow pastures.
Oh, yeah.
On both sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I remember, and even when you came, I think they still would have had the cow pastures on Military and Boynton Beach Boulevard.
Yes, they did.
Because I think the Motorola plant was probably still there, right?
Yep.
So it's changed quite a bit. And now, as you know, we're dropping things in as quick as we can. And now they're already talking about going up because we got no more land to go out. Now they want to go up. I don't like it. Don't want nothing to do with it, but that's not,
Well,
above my pay grade.
Just like everywhere else, we get what we vote for. And people in Wellington over the years have voted for expansion and voted for progress rather than keeping it our small town. But, we still have great schools. We have great parks. We have great recreation. We have great city works. But, when does it stop?
Keeping myself out of that fray, I vote in Monroe County. I don't vote anywhere up there, so I'm staying out of that. But I don't think it does. I mean, it's here's the thing. In my brief existence, I've noticed that entropy just keeps on going. I don't see it stopping ever. I mean, I see it evolving and changing maybe, but I mean, at a certain point in time, there will be no more land literally to put anything on.
So you got to go up.
So you got to go up and you got to, right. But,
well, my issue with that, not to get on a rant here, but is when you call something the equestrian preserve, the very word preserve leads me to believe that we're going to keep it that way. And what do we have, 800 acres there that they want to turn into really basically a small downtown mixed-use residential commercial.
Well, there's a couple different facets of it. They've got actually one neighborhood that's back where nobody really knows, they would never see it, and then there's the neighborhood that's right up there, basically redoing Polo and adding 300 or something like that homes, and then they have the commercial center. Yeah, so that's going to be like a little baby city place type vibe is what they're looking at. What it ends up being, I don't know, but. I just think I don't know there's any way around developing some of that stuff a little bit more just because of where we're at. I mean, there's just too much money in it. That's the bottom line in my mind. But again, I don't vote in Wellington. I vote in Monroe County. So
can't fight City Hall no matter where you are.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, although in the Keys we're having the same thing. Like Rogo, man. I mean, Keys, we literally are mandated by the state to empty the Keys in 24 hours of the announcement of a oncoming hurricane. We suppose the chances of that are today.
The Cubs will win the World Series again before that happens.
And that's the whole reason for Rogo is that they want to be able to get people out in the case of a hurricane. That's the whole Rogo rule, right? And the Rogo rule's been kicked down. The politicians historically, because construction was supposed to stop in the Keys well over a decade ago. But everybody just kicks it down. They don't want to be that one, so they kick it down. They kick it down. Now it's starting to become really evident, like Almirada, you go down there trying to get a permit, forget it.
Yeah. Now, is that evacuation for anything that's a Cat 3? What are they doing a Cat 2? Because in a Cat 2...
So the rule is, it's hurricane. They don't care. The rule is, hurricane, natural disaster, where they want to be able to empty the Keys in 24 hours. Never going to happen anyways, but... Of course, we'd be lucky to get everybody out of Key Largo in 24
You're
hours.
going to get your diehards that are just going to cross your arms in front of them.
And listen, that's decision. But I think
I got ice and I got a cooler and I got my beer.
Right. I mean, I understand the reasoning for the rule, and if people want to get out, I guess they want them to be able to get out and not be stuck behind, all the other people that actually want to get out.
And where do they go?
Yeah, basically come here. I don't know. Depends, Miami, and that's look at me. I got that question. I got to worry about my house, my mother's house, then the house down there. Like, what do I do? It's like, okay, which one's gonna hit? Where's it gonna hit? I don't know. That's beyond me. But I don't know. The whole to put a point on the whole Wellington development thing, this is something that's been ongoing and ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. And eventually, you know, I don't know, I think the bricks topple. I mean, it's like, you know, if you took a pencil and tapped against a brick wall enough times, either the pencil's going to break or the wall. I don't really know where I was going.
Probably the pencil.
All right. Well, let's wrap this one up, and we'll move on to something else. Maybe we'll bring Daniel back again. Very entertaining, very interesting.
Thanks for having me.
You know, maybe I should do like an episode just to wind everybody up and do a development in Wellington episode. This place would be packed, by the way. You wouldn't be able to walk in this room if we did that.
People from both sides with pitchforks and lanterns.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see what happens. You know. I have to look at it like from my business perspective. I mean, I'm a realtor. It helps my business. So I have to kind of go, oh, well, it's not the worst thing for me.
It's not the worst thing. I don't think it's, I mean, I think when I moved here, there was 40,000 people in Wellington.
Which was a lot more than when I first moved here.
Yeah. And, you know, during the equestrian months, we grow to 140,000.
Yeah.
So how many more people, you know, how much can our infrastructure tolerate?
See, that's a whole nother different story. Infrastructure, right? Roads, stuff like that. You're seeing that happen out in Loxahatchee right now where they...
forget about driving through there.
Oh, man, go to the little corner of North Lake and all that stuff over there. It's a grand old time.
They could put 6 lanes in, wouldn't be enough.
6 lanes would certainly help.
It would help.
Be way better than 2.
Yes.
So, but with 2, it's not very good, and they've still got another 6,000 plus units to put out there.
Yeah,
So,
just before we log off, I just want to remind people that are moving here from other states, the left lane is a passing lane, ladies and gentlemen. This is for people that, like, if you're going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, we want to break the law for real. If you could move over to the right, that would be great.
yeah,
Just a public service announcement.
No luck there, man. You've been down here long enough to know that somebody's going to get in the left lane and do 2 miles below the speed limit just to do it.
And if somebody flicks their brights at you, that means literally, please, could you move over? It doesn't mean slam on your brakes and brake check them.
Don't flash your lights at me, brother. But here's the thing. Here's the really easy way to do it. If people are passing you on both sides and looking at you, mouthing things, go all the way to the right.
Yeah, actually, I've stopped with the middle finger. I give a thumbs down. I think that's got more of an impact because everybody uses the middle finger.
Yeah, true. It's good. And if you're used to seeing it so much, you don't really care, obviously, anyway.
Right.
I think I should get little signs, like little flip down signs I can just put in the side of the side window.
One of those
flashy lights.
Those LED streaming things in the back window.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, enough of that. We got to go. All right, kids, we'll see you next time. If you want to know more about Daniel, Charlie's obviously going to put all this stuff up there so you can click the button, but we're also going to do a fantastic episode of Real Talk and talk about what he actually does for a living down here and how that affects your life. So check it out. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Please do subscribe with the notification bell on. If you liked today's guest, you can also get more information about them right here. Like magic, it will appear. Anyways, we love having you here. We love having your friends here. Shout it out from the rooftops. Like us on Facebook. Share it with your friends. We'll see you soon here in beautiful, sunny South Florida.